Back on the road for the Wisconsin Badgers, making the trip out to Piscataway to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. We'll take a look at some of the highlights from Saturday's game out east. We'll visit with Badgers offensive lineman Joe Brunner, Wisconsin-born, Wisconsin-proud, and a big part of that Badgers O-line. And we'll have our weekly sit-down with head coach Coach Fickell. All coming up on this week's edition of the Badgers Sports Report.
Locke calls for the ball, gets the snap, looks the throw, one pump, pop fly, right side, end zone. Pauling got it. He secured it. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Locke to Will Pauling. They waited to see if he would survive the ground. He did, and the Badgers are on the board early here in Piscataway. They'll shift and overload to the right side of the formation up front for Rutgers. Callie McManus will give it to Monungai, and I don't think so. It looks like he stopped short. He needed the 9. They're running up the line at the 10. It'll be Wisconsin football as Monungai is denied. Dupree stays in there for the Rutgers 49. Second down and 3. Play fake Locke. Looking, winds up, throws it long down the middle. Caught Vinny Anthony inside the 5. That is brought down at the 2 by Bo Masco. Beautiful ball. Vinny Anthony the catch. First and goal, Wisconsin. Callie McManus wants to throw. Badgers send 3. A throw over the middle. It's tipped up. It's picked off by Preston Zachman. Inside the 35, down to the 31. It was Hunter Waller deflecting. Zachman gobbled it up. And here you go. First down, Wisconsin. The 45 of Wisconsin, first and 10. Locke will hand it to Walker to the 50, 45, 40. He's gone. 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Tawee Walker. As the Badgers deliver the knockout punch here in the fourth quarter.
Set the standard. Set the standard. Let's go.
Ricardo Holman from one end of the yard to the other. Touchdown, Wisconsin, as the Badgers are back in the fight. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Shaz Malusi, 89 yards. And it's picked off by Hunter Waller. There is a big, big win for the Wisconsin Badgers.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, treating the Badgers, treating you. And is brought to you by Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors, building Wisconsin together. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy.
Clear your path to a great career today. Climb to reach your career potential with no loans and no debt, so you can earn while you learn. A Wisconsin Operating Engineer's Apprenticeship is your opportunity to work outdoors and get heavy equipment experience. Partner with your employer for serious pay, great health and pension benefits. Acquire real-world experience while building Wisconsin together. To start your career journey, visit join139.com today.
On last week's show, we talked about visits and home games and what all goes into that with the Wisconsin Badgers and high school prospects. We want to continue a little bit on the theme here as we bring in head coach Luke Fickell. I know a lot of this with the portal, that's an accelerated relationship with guys who can come in here. With high school, maybe it's a little bit more of a slow cooker, and it's still something that, as much as the portal can matter, and it's important, the high school thing is still, that's a big deal for you.
It is. We would always say it's the lifeblood of the program, and that's how you're going to continue to build. That's how you're going to have consistency in what you're doing, because the 1 and 2 year guys, and even sometimes 3 year guys, well, you don't notice much about them. Not that they don't have development in them too, but if you're kind of going that way, I think it's it's a little bit more of the hey, let's try to get the quick fix of some sort. So the high school guys is your relationship over a 2 year period where you're developing a lot of those things and recognizing the fits of a lot of things, and not just skill levels, but the fits of a cultures and things like that are really important to what we do. And those game day visits and all those other opportunities to get them onto campus from their junior year on is really important.
I remember Coach Alvarez used to always talk when he would go into high schools, you're obviously getting to know the young man, but you're getting to know not just the family, other people in the school, and all of that stuff becomes a part of it, doesn't it?
It is, and they've limited the head coaches so much in their ability to travel and to get into those schools. I mean, there's a very limited amount of time in which you can actually do that for me. So a lot of it is your assistants. A lot of it is your recruiting guys, and they're not just in there talking to the high school coach, because by nature the high school coach is going to tell you all the great things. They're like a father or a mother sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you gotta kind of dig a little deeper and try to find out as much as you possibly can about them, their personalities, and anything else, because they're young men, and you're going to bring them into a program and ask them to do a lot of different things. You better know exactly what you're getting.
It's still important for coaches. I know, as you said, head coach, there's limitations of what you can do, but with the rest of the staff, to continue relationships with high school coaches, even if in a given year there might not be somebody, but you still want to maintain that relationship for not just the next player, but you just want to have that to begin with.
So you're hitting on a very unique thing in this transition of where college football is continuing to evolve to. It's still important, right? I mean, you hope that that's the one thing about high school football and college football, is as long as the high school football coach is still a really important part of them, and you're not dealing with maybe the AAU circuit and things like that, because that's what we rely upon, is what we're hearing from those guys, and that relationship and your ability to get an edge of some sorts, because you have created these relationships over time. And it's difficult when you recruit the whole country, but within your footprint, within your state, within your 300-mile radius, your ability to have a relationship with the high school coaches, and not just showing up when they have a big-time recruit, but on a consistent basis, gives you a lot better opportunity when they finally do have some of those guys.
Also curious too, because that radius, as you've mentioned, that footprint is a little bit wider than what you might have thought when you first got here in Wisconsin, and we're seeing that with commitments with freshmen now and verbal commitments for the future. Take us through a little bit, being able to develop those relationships with coaches that maybe you didn't know before, but now you're getting to know.
We all say that the world is getting smaller, whether it's social media, the phones, but it's not easy to develop those relationships with coaches, that are, maybe a little bit more like we are, and the ages of we are, that we haven't spent some time with. So you still got to be able to do it. You just don't have as much time to do it. And so when you're going to Arizona, you're going to California, you're going to the East Coast, if you didn't have some deep-rooted connections, you're trying to build a relationship pretty quick with a guy, for me, that maybe I can get in there one time a year, one time every other year. So we rely upon our assistant coaches that can be out there in the spring, and can be out there in the fall, and can be out there in the winter, to really kind of work at it a little bit more than just stopping in every time they've got a player and never seeing them until they do.
We've talked in the past about Max Steinecker and Pat Lambert, and just the recruiting, the concept of a recruiting department, which obviously is I guess you could say a relatively new thing in college football. I don't know exactly when it first started, but it does. I would imagine it's a great load, at least to some extent. It takes some stuff off your plate. I mean, still you're cultivating the relationships, but these guys can help take care of some things.
They take a lot off your plate. They put a lot on your plate. Like,
okay,
hey, I need you to talk to these 7 guys. I need you to go here. No, they do. Where it's a younger department, I'd say, like okay, maybe it's been 15 years, but it's completely changing and evolving with the times as well, where that department is becoming a little bit more of a, still got a recruiting department that recruits high school kids. You got a little bit of a branch off of ones that maybe focus on portal kids and transfer kids, and now you start to work more towards one that's a little bit more into the general manager kind of realm of things, and it's evolving too, just like everything, but it's still about relationships. It's still about their ability to, kind of be the at the forefront of, identifying a lot of guys, and especially the high school guys, where we can start to develop those relationships, because that's what becomes more difficult for the assistant coaches and the head coach to know who to really kind of start building those relationships with, and you really depend on those guys to kind of get you started.
And finally, the intangible to this, the last home game that you played, that was probably a good day to talk to recruits after the game, after the Purdue game. Nothing like that is guaranteed, but when you can get that type of an environment, and the people, the fans here really getting in to jump around, your guys on the sideline doing the same thing. I don't know how you measure it analytically, but it doesn't hurt to have that, right?
It doesn't. We capitalized just on Saturday, with the guy being here maybe for one of the first times, and seeing and feeling that environment. And I know for me, it was kind of the first time I got to enjoy a little bit of jump around myself, because every other one has been somewhat of a nail biter in the last year and a half. But no, it does. The game day environment is so awesome, and guys don't get enough time to experience some of those things around the country. So when they do get here and they're able to see it, it leaves a lasting impression.
All right, never hurts, fans. We can get into that jump around. I know many of you do, and hopefully much more chances to do that the rest of this season. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy.
Through the years, the Badgers have taken a lot of pride in O-line U, and they've taken pride in a lot of Wisconsin guys who have become Badgers and then on to the NFL and so on and so forth. And who knows, maybe one of those guys in the future is our guest right now, Joe Brunner, getting a starting shot for the first time in his career. Let's get caught up, because during training camp, your position coach talked about, guys on the offensive line, and then it got around to you, and he said, rip. Some people in the media knew right away what he was talking about. Others didn't. From Yellowstone, the character. Who gave you the nickname, or did you give it to yourself?
No, I didn't give it to myself. It was actually Coach Blas. And if you know Rip, if you've seen the show, you know who he is. They say I look like him too a little bit, which is I'm completely fine with, but I like it. I like the nickname.
I was going to say, I'll put this as delicately as possible for this audience. Rip is a bad dude in the best kind of way, right? So that's a perfect fit.
Yeah, exactly, especially as an offensive lineman. I'm not too mad about it.
I was going to say, and a show that you're a very loyal viewer of. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
First time around, being a starter at this level, talk about, give us an idea of the progress that you have made in your own game, maybe for when you first came on campus, but now that you're such an important part of this offensive line.
Yeah, so I think, I took 2 years and I developed as a player on and off the field. And I think, when you look at a starter and someone who's kind of just coming in as a young guy, the game slows down when you're a starter. You figure everything out a little bit faster. You can see things a little bit quicker. You're physically grown into your body. So I think it takes time for that stuff to happen. And not a lot of guys realize that, but it all works out in the end. And I think, just everything slows down once you get to that point where you can play. Makes things a lot easier.
And your position, you're right between two seasoned veterans, Jack Nelson as the left tackle, and obviously Jake Renfro at center. That's got to be a big plus. Guys who've been around the block a little bit.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, when I took my official visit here, Jack Nelson was my host, and I've watched him play when I was in high school. For my first 2 years here, I've seen how he has attacked the game of football, and to be able to play next to someone like that and Jake Renfro, who are phenomenal athletes, phenomenal football players, it makes me better too. So I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, it's fun watching Jack. I'm old enough to remember when his old man was playing here, and it's just everybody cares. You all care deeply. But when I see Jack, thinking, like, who would care more than this guy? Because he's so intense all the time, isn't he?
Right. Yeah. It's when you see him go to work every day, whether that's in the film room, the weight room, on the field, even at home, I've seen it. He attacks everything, and he wants to be the best. And it starts in the family with his dad, and then obviously Barrett, his brother's here, so I think that gives him an extra drive. It's pretty special.
I mentioned at the top, O-line U. I mean, I think linebacker U, what we're seeing in the NFL, but certainly the offensive line has been so well represented for a long time. Take us through your recruitment here. I mean, you mentioned you're very familiar with Jack's game, but who some other guys maybe whose game you admired who played O-line here at Wisconsin?
Yeah, I think growing up, I was in high school when I kind of understood the game of football more. I'd watch Logan Bruss, guys like that. JP's brother, Bo, when he was here, he was an All-American. There's so many guys that you can list from this school who have gone on to the next level, been successful, and who are successful here, who are phenomenal. Great people as well. So I think, coming here is truly special. When I was recruited out of high school, I was recruited by a bunch of programs, all great programs. But you come here, you see the guys in the locker room, you hang out with them a little bit, and you realize, I don't want to go anywhere else.
Yeah, that's something that's important, I think, for people watching or listening to understand, because obviously there's a lot that goes into where someone goes to school now. There are a lot of things out there, but the brotherhood seems like that hasn't changed, has it?
No, not at all. I think you go down there right now, it's the same. It's offense, defense, O-lineman, safety. It doesn't matter who you are. It's a brotherhood. You're brothers. As
an offensive lineman, I've talked to a lot of guys through the years. Everybody loves the explosive plays. Those are the highlight reel plays. But when you can get an 80-yard drive, 16, 17-play drive, now it can take a lot out of the offense, but it just wears out a defense, probably emotionally as well as physically. Is that the best feeling that you guys have up front, knowing that you're able to push guys around, getting 5, 6, 7 yards at a time?
There's some pride that goes with that. You start in your own 25 and you're down on the goal line 18 plays later, and the D-line, you can push the D-line 5 yards back. That's how you know you got them. And I think that's Wisconsin football. You come off the sideline, you're a little gassed, but you're hyped up, and it's a great feeling.
Off the field, because Wisconsin linemen have a reputation too, especially the guys who grew up here. Off the field, go fishing, do all that stuff. Is that Joe Brunner too? Is that kind of classic off the field, get away from it all kind of fun stuff?
I'm a big golfer.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Whitefish Bay, so there wasn't a lot of fishing. I've definitely gone fishing a lot, but I love golf. I'm a big. I like to think I'm good.
All right. Yeah. What's your handicap?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I
just go play.
I remember Tyler Van Dyke was telling us before the season that Renfro hits absolute rockets.
Yeah.
So that's legit.
That's legit. I can.
What about you off the tee?
I hit bombs too.
There you go. Of course. Clown question, huh?
Yeah, come on,
averaging 3 bills, probably right around that.
Yeah.
Is that the best? I mean, they always say the best golfers, it's 120 yards in or how well you putt, which it sounds great, but being on, just being able to launch it off the tee box, that's the fun in it, right?
That's the best part. I mean, if you can bomb it off the tee box, you're usually not even 120 yards in. Usually it's just a chip shot.
Exactly.
That's what I've worked on.
So outside of you and Renfro, who in the offensive line is pretty good with a golf club?
JP Benchwell's pretty good.
Is he?
He's a pretty good golfer. I think he is. Carey's pretty good. Carey Kadenko.
Yeah.
But
see, the offensive linemen, they can do this. You think quarterbacks, you think DBs,
the pretty guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But offensive linemen are athletes too, and they can do a lot of different things. So you play as much. It's limited time to do that, but in the summertime when you're done with the workouts, that's a good getaway for you.
Yeah, I love it. It's getting the sun, hang out with their friends. It's awesome.
All right, so when you need somebody to go 3 bills off the tee in a scramble, this is your guy, Joe Brunner. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
3-time Pac-12 Freshman of the Week back in 2021. She's now a senior, Maddie Ensley, and she serves for Washington. Wisconsin getting ready to return. Here comes a big right hand, and it's down. Yulia Osho, the captain, delivers. Up by 8, Guchkin serves again out of the Washington timeout. Ensley with a hard right hand, preserved by Schumacher, and then the delivery for the Badgers to get the point. Osho, I think, was the one who hit it over. Maybe Robinson came in with the right hand. Doesn't matter, everything's clicking for Wisconsin right now, up by 9. Bush serve, played by Franklin. Furbringer, Booth for the win. 25-21 in set number 3. In the battle of UWs, Wisconsin hands Washington its first L of the season.
Steffen will play it in now. And it's away from Enneking. And Enneking will hold on to it. And now we're looking at a penalty here. Score! Arissa Mart with her second in conference play, 8th of the season. And that will tie the game for the Wisconsin Badgers. She'll send it into the box. Not headed away out just yet. There's a shot. Score! The Badgers with 2 quick goals late in the second half. This time it's Maya Richters.
Harvey's got space. Harvey on the left side. Passes it off for Hall. Hall gets it to go. Cassie Hall gives the Badgers a 3-1 lead. And it's now Marianne Picard up the left side, 2-on-2. Picard passing over, and it's Lady Potter finishing it off. Lady Potter gives the Badgers a 4-1 lead. That might seal the deal.
Badgers down 1, 5:40 left in the third. Finley's out there, he's got it. His shot got through, no, it hit Yakimchuk, the defenseman. Tassie and him battling in front of the nets. Playing keep away right wing, it's Fitzgerald, turnaround shot. That hit Tassie back. Yes! Baseball style, Quinn Finley, 2-2. My goodness! Able to tap it past Prouty, runs it down 2-on-1 with Morrissey. He's onside. He catches, refeed Finley, and he had no chance. Then from the left wing wall, the Badgers score! The Badgers score! And you laugh. A 3-2 overtime victory and a series split to start the season.
Clear your path to a great career today. Climb to reach your career potential with no loans and no debt, so you can earn while you learn. A Wisconsin Operating Engineer's Apprenticeship is your opportunity to work outdoors and get heavy equipment experience. Partner with your employer for serious pay, great health and pension benefits. Acquire real-world experience while building Wisconsin together. To start your career journey, visit join139.com today.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, treating the Badgers, treating you. And is brought to you by Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors, building Wisconsin together. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
The Badgers continue on the road. Little bus trip down to Evanston to take on the Northwestern Wildcats. Kickoff set for 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. East Park Medical Center, coming soon. UW Health, remarkable.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy.